Since 2016, at this Toronto hospital and others, thousands of Canadians have ended their irremediable physical suffering through MAiD, medical assistance in dying, but not those with mental illness.
I think we were ready to do this.
Dr. Donna Stewart has been assessing psychiatric patients for decades and is disappointed that Ottawa has delayed expanding MAiD a second time. She says exceedingly few would meet the criteria for grievous, intolerable suffering, but they deserve to be treated equitably.
I think there's a lot of stigma against mental illness. It's easier to see somebody with a physical illness understand their suffering. But I think we have to accept that people with mental illness suffer just as much as people with physical illness.
CAMH, the Canadian Centre for Addiction and Mental Health, supports the delay.
We don't think the system is ready yet, even though there has been some work done over the past year.
Dr. Tariq Raji is sympathetic to expanding MAiD, but says it's difficult, for example, to define irremediable for mental illness.
We don't yet have clear guidelines for the clinicians and the physicians and the nurse practitioners who are willing to be involved in MAiD assessments to determine eligibility.
But when will those with mental illness be eligible for MAiD? The federal Conservatives and several provinces and territories want the measure delayed indefinitely.
I think there's a lot of issues with the government's approach to MAiD.
The federal health minister says he cannot expand MAiD without the provinces buying in.
Every single health minister from every single province, every single territory, telling me they're not ready.
For the most seriously mentally ill patients, the delay prolongs their trauma.
I think that it discriminates against the mentally ill. I think it's going to leave a lot of mentally ill continuing to suffer.
The federal health minister says new legislation will lay out a revised timeline, but it looks increasingly possible the Liberal government will punt the controversial issue to beyond the next election. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.